evening, everyone. I'm Ananya Batra, the moderator for the Progressing 3 Weeks Online Internship Program for Building Leaders of Life Skills offered by us. I today, on behalf of Anand Global Foundation, welcome each and every one of you to the final presentation session, and we look forward to a successful journey with you. Welcome aboard. I hope the experience for everyone has proved out to be exemplary and purposeful, and the research on the topics assigned to you have led you to a worthwhile journey and hopefulness. With immense pleasure, I welcome our esteemed and eminent jury members, Ms. Jaswinder Gandhok and Ms. Nikita Tomarman. Ms. Jaswinder Gandhok is a versatile and visionary educationist with more than 20 years of experience in teaching and heading CBSE schools as a principal across India. She is currently serving as the principal of Gurukul World School, Mohali. Moving on, Ms. Nikita Tomarman has over 2 decades of broad expertise of inspiring students while working in schools affiliated to different boards such as the CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB. She is currently serving as the principal of Indraprastha Global School, Noida. Thank you very much, jury members, for gracing the final presentation. We are highly appreciative of your presence. Thank you. This evening, Team Aspiration are here to present and enlighten us on the topic, Hope is the Waking Dream. Now, I would like to introduce, recognize, and thank the entire team on board. Let's meet the team. The team is mentored by Ms. Arpita Nagpure from Maharashtra and co-mentored by Ms. Diya Chaudhary from Delhi. The interns are Ira Mehta from Delhi, Khushbu from Uttar Pradesh, Yashvi Singla from Haryana, Smriti Mewar from Uttarakhand, and Vaishnavi Kaplesh from Delhi. Team Aspiration, show me a thumbs up if you're all set and ready to proceed with the presentation. All right then, without any further ado, let's begin with the presentation. Over to you, Team Aspiration. All the very best. Break a leg.
Thank you so much, Ananya. So good evening to one and all present here. I'm Arpita Nagpure, team mentor. So first of all, thank you Anand Global Foundation for this wonderful opportunity. And of course, a very warm welcome to our dear jury members.
Okay, so I am Diya Chaudhary, the co-mentor of Team Aspiration. So we are here with like 21 days of hard work, and our team has been the best with us. Our team has put many efforts and hope you all will like it. Over to you, team.
A very gracious welcome to distinguished jury members and all the lovable people present over here. This is Team Aspiration presenting Hope is a Waking Dream. Let me introduce you to our team. This is Ms. Arpita Nagpure, our mentor, Ms. Diya Chaudhary, our co-mentor. I'm Khushbu, team representative and technical head. Vaishnavi Kaplesh, our literary head. Smriti Mewar, our creative head. Ira Mehta, our creative head. And last but not the least, Yashvi Singla, our creative head.
We would like to take this opportunity to express our special thanks of gratitude to Anon Global Foundation, who gave us this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work on this wonderful project, Hope is a Waking Dream. It not only helped us in learning things about diverse subjects, but also helped us in enhancing our life skills throughout the making of this project.
Secondly, we would also like to express our gratitude and thank the entire jury for taking out their time and effort, especially for us. We are extremely grateful to our mentor, Ms. Arpita Nagpure, and co-mentor, Ms. Diya Chaudhary, for guiding us throughout this project, helping us sail through the challenges we faced throughout the journey of this project, and for making us overcome our weaknesses and making those our strengths. Special regard to our parents, friends, and the people who helped us with this project and helped us achieve the desired number of survey responses to analyze it. Thank you.
Here's the presentation outline. We'll begin with understanding the meaning of our topic, Hope is a Waking Dream. Then we'll discuss how our dreams related to hope, why finding hope is important, what is hopelessness, how hope affects mental health, how is hope related to positivity, especially in these times, and is rewarding makes us hopeful, followed by a mythological story. Then we'll state some ways by which an individual can become hopeful when feeling hopeless, followed by a slope. Then we'll discuss the survey analysis, followed by 2 case studies of renowned personalities who had proven hope is a waking dream. Then we have a poem from our team member Ara. Then we'll conclude the presentation with our mentor's view.
When we listen to the topic, it is very evident that this question will absolutely arise in everyone's mind. What's this hope is a waking dream mean? So my co-team member Vaishnavi will let you know about this.
The meaning of the quote, hope is a waking dream, can be explained by the meanings of faith, optimism, and hard work. Faith comes in when we expect for a better future, when we work towards a better future. Optimism comes when we think about a better. The word better shows that we are optimistic. When we talk about hard work, nothing can be achieved without hard work. So faith, optimism, and hard work directly explain the meaning of hope is a waking dream. Now we will learn how dreams are related to hope.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Now that we have understand the meaning of hope is a waking dream, how are dreams related to hope?
Hope is being related to dreams like the dream of achieving our goals, which does not let us sleep. Waking us up does not only mean from sleep, but makes us conscious of what we want in life. Like APJ Abdul Kalam said, dream is not word you see in sleep. It is a thing which does not let us sleep.
You must be wondering why it is important to find hope. Let me tell you, difficulties and stressful events in life are inevitable, but hope assures that a future is ahead of us. Hope heals, motivates, and shows us how to act. Hope is the driving force in reaching the future we want for us. We all have the desire to do something, but sometimes do not have the courage to make that happen. Hope gives you that courage. Hope encourages your self belief, helps in easing negative feelings, and brings inner peace. It is also contagious, as when we feel hopeful of a better future, we can spread hope to others.
Now that we know about the importance of hope, let's know our emotion, hopelessness. Hopelessness is an emotion characterized by a lack of hope, optimism, and passion. So if we talk about someone who has lost all hope in life, they may no longer value things that were once important to them. It is also linked to a lack of inspiration, feelings of powerlessness, helplessness, abandonment, isolation, captivity, oppression. It is indeed a powerful emotion that often contributes to a dark or low outlook towards life. All in all, it represents an individual's negative view of the future. Now, I would like to invite Smriti to further tell us the effects of hopelessness on mental health. Over to you, Smriti.
Before moving ahead, let us first understand what mental health is. Mental health involves emotional, psychological, and social well being. The World Health Organization defines mental health as mental well being in which individual realizes their abilities, can cope up with normal stresses of life, and can work productively. Now, Ira will tell you how hope affects mental health of young people.
Sure, Smith. How hope impacts mental health in young people, in young minds. Now, you all must be wondering that why am I stressing upon young people, young minds at this point of time? Let me tell you. This is because 40% of the entire world population consists of young people, the youth. We, the young generation of the country, is the future of our nation. For the future of a nation to be bright, we need to have hope in our hearts as well as our minds. Hope is associated with improved coping and improved well-being. Negative life events are less intense for the people who are more hopeful. Having hope is a protective factor against all the pessimistic and self-reapproachable thoughts. A hopeful person is more likely to engage himself or herself in healthier behavior.
Do you know the hope theory formulated by psychologist Charles Nieder states that hope gives people the will, determination, and sense of empowerment that allows them reaching their goals. Research shows that hopeful people are more likely to attain their goals and recover better from illness. They have higher life satisfaction and strong sense of meaning and purpose in life.
According to World Health Organization, 264 million people of all ages suffer from depression, and one of the crushing symptoms of depression is loss of hope.
So everyone, you all must be thinking, why an individual become hopeless? It's because, my dear friends, when a person is depressed or basically feeling low, we can say that when negative events or thoughts coming in the mind, it ultimately results in hopelessness. Have you ever thought of what a person thinks when he or she feels hopeless? The person thinks like, oh God, there's no future. I have no hope. It's very late now. I'm never gonna be happy and no one can help me. Now, we are going to present a short movie about a girl named Spreha whose mother died due to COVID-19 and how she overcomes her hopelessness.
Vaishnavi, the video isn't audible.
Yes.
Where should we include computer?
Year-old girl named Spreha was stalking the ends of her living room. She looked quite tensed and worry did not leave her face. She was finding something. It was her phone. As soon as she found her phone, she sat down on the sofa and switched on the television.
The COVID-19 situation is worsening every day across the country. The hospitals are overwhelmed by more and more patients. The country is facing an acute shortage of oxygen. Patients, their families are struggling for oxygen and ICU beds in the hospitals.
Suddenly, Spreha got a call. The whole world collapsed for Spreha. And why not? The little girl lost her mother.
Don't cry, my love. Everything will be alright. I'm with you. Always. Do you know who named you Spreha? And why she named you Spreha? Because Spreha means hope, aspiration. So we don't have to lose hope because Aristotle rightly said,
Hope is a waking dream.
Spreha, do you know Lakshmi Agarwal? She was an acid attack survivor. One day, she went out of her home and someone suddenly came and threw acid on her face. And that very moment was a turning point of her life. But she's standing brave. She never ever lost hope.
and my cutie, you know, there are lakhs of people, even more than lakhs, not even getting a bed in the hospital, not even getting medicines, not even a small oxygen cylinder, even a meal to eat. So I know it's a bad time, but we have to understand the practicality of life, that no lamentation or grieving can bring your mom back. And that's the bitter truth.
Papa, you're right. Papa, I want to help them. I want to help these people. I want to do something for them any way possible.
Spreha always wanted to change the world and work for the betterment of people. With her father's wise advice, she joined an NGO where she worked day and night helping people, fulfilling her mother's dream of believing in hope is a waking dream. She never lost hope after that, and she always walked on the path of what she dreamed of, that is, making the world a better place for everyone.
Now that we have heard such a beautiful story about Spriha, it sure instills a feeling of positivity and hopefulness in everybody's heart. So now let's learn how is hope related to positivity, especially in these times. First off, I would like to talk about the idea of positivity. Positivity is the idea that things will always work out well for us no matter what the circumstances. And if we relate it to hope, hope can only be established if our outlook towards life is positive. But with nearly 4 million people dead because of the COVID-19, how can we restore hopes in our heart in these times of dystopia? The COVID-19 has fundamentally changed the way our society worked. Humans are social animals and they have been taken away from what was part of their nature. In times like these, it feels impossible to remain optimistic or positive about the future. But as uncomfortable as it may feel, pushing ourselves to imagine that a better future lies in front of us is the only way out. Now, my friend Ira would further explain how can we push ourselves to restore hope in our hearts.
Here's how we can push ourselves to restore hope in our hearts as well as in our minds. Taking the best world has to offer: music, art, beauty, dancing, singing, learning, creativity, innovation, and knowledge. Spend time with your loved ones. Sit, chit chat with your family. Make a disconnect with the phones, laptops, and the technology in these times as much as you can. Connect with the nature outside. Sit straight. Take a deep breath. Practice gardening. Open your eyes to the little things in life which feel peace and power of regeneration in all forms. Have at least 8 hours of sleep. Meditate. Pray. Feel the spirit, impermanence, and quiet. Believe me, these little measures would definitely help you in restoring hope in your heart as well as in your mind.
Now that we know that how we can push ourselves to restore hope in our hearts and mind, let's learn an interesting fact about rewarding. Rewarding makes us hopeful. Rewarding makes a person hopeful as it motivates an individual to work, and not only work but work hard for their goals. The reward system is about memory and motivation. It helps us in regard to performing well in everyday life. So how does it actually work? According to theoretical physicist Michio Kaku, our brain is the most complex thing in the universe. And the point is proven by how our brain is flooded with feel-good chemicals, which results in our brain learning what is rewarding early in life and make us more successful and hopeful as an adult. To prove this, our team also conducted an experiment. At the end of the survey that we conducted, Hope is a Waking Dream, we provided certificate of participation to everybody. And here are the remarks that we got, and I quote: really encouraging, made me really happy, really does justice to what the survey actually talks about. Now, I would like to request Khushbu to further explain us how Indian mythology also talks about hope as a waking dream.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. So, friends, you all must be knowing Hiranyakashipu, father of Prahlad. He believed himself to be a god, and his son Prahlad was a Vishnu devotee.
Hiranyakashipu scorned Prahlad's devotion to Lord Vishnu and attempted several times to kill him, but the boy was saved every time by Lord Vishnu. One day, Hiranyakashipu challenged Prahlad to show Lord Vishnu if he really existed.
हिरण्यकश्यप ने एक खंबे की ओर इशारा किया और पूछा, क्या भगवान विष्णु वहां हैं?
Prahlad said yes. On hearing this, Hiranyakashipu got angered and raised his sword to kill Prahlad.
भगवान विष्णु उस खंबे से प्रकट हुए नरसिंह अवतार में, क्योंकि हिरण्यकश्यप को वरदान था, न रात में मरे न दिन में, न इंसान से मरे न जानवर.
Khushi, please unmute yourself.
भगवान विष्णु उस खंबे से प्रकट हुए और नरसिंह अवतार में आए हिरण्यकश्यप को वरदान था, ना रात में मरे ना दिन में, ना इंसान से मरे ना जानवर से, ना शस्त्र से मरे ना किसी अस्त्र से, ना घर में मरे ना बाहर। इसीलिए नरसिंह अवतार धारण किया गया। ना तो वह पूरा इंसान था, ना ही पूरा शेर। घर की दहलीज पर उसका वध किया शाम के समय। अतः इससे यह पता चलता है कि जैसे प्रहलाद ने अपनी आशा विश्वास नहीं छोड़ा, वैसे ही हमें आशा रखनी चाहिए। जैसे कि कहते ही हैं, आशा से मिटती है निराशा। धन्यवाद।
हमें प्रहलाद की कहानी तो समझ आ गई, but the question occur in my mind is how to become hopeful when feeling hopeless.
Okay, Ashvi. To become hopeful, we must name positive emotions or tell the person who is feeling hopeless to name positive emotion. Try to write letters to yourself or ask the person to write beautiful letters to themselves. Spend time with family as much as you can. Write 7 or more things whenever you feel hopeless. And my dear friends, it really works. I stand as a proof. You can have a look to this and try to think of an act of kindness you ever did. It can be one or many. Tree of Hope activity. So now we are going to show you an activity on hope, which is the Tree of Hope. So friends, we are going to little bit talking about emotions, as everyone is facing a wide variety of emotions in this pandemic, and kids are facing a lot of the same things. So here is a fun activity anybody can do. You can do it with your kids also. Over to you, Vaishnavi.
The aim of this activity is to capture one's life story and help to enhance hope or just restore hope in everybody's heart. So I would like to request everybody to pin Ira for further instructions. So for this activity, we'll need a piece of drawing paper and some colored markers. So we'll start by first making the roots of the tree. The roots of the tree will hold things about our past, our foundation, where we come from, our place of birth, our first job, our first school. Everything about your past will come in the roots. Next, we'll draw the ground. The ground will hold things about your day-to-day schedule. It can be school assignments, it can be checking emails, checking social media, etc. Next will come the trunk. In the trunk, we'll write about our talents and our skills, or what we admire in others and want in ourselves. It can be being helpful, being kind, any skill, any talent that we may have. Next will come the branches. The branches will hold our hopes, our aspirations, whatever we want in our life will come in the branches. Next will be the leaves. The leaves will hold names of the people we love and the people who inspire us. Next will be the fruits. The fruits of the tree will hold the gifts of life that we have. It is not necessary to write about materialistic things. For some people, family can be gift. For some people, friends can be gifts. So write about anything that you're grateful for in life in the fruits. Next, we will be drawing the storms and the clouds. The storms and the clouds will hold our problems, the hurdles that we may face in life, and how we have fought them. It can be an illness, it can be a loss of a loved one, anything that you fought in the past. This is the end of the activity. Now, we want you to observe the roots. The roots are your own foundation, where you come from. Remember all the things from your past and move on. Next, see your day-to-day schedule. After seeing your day-to-day schedule, if you feel that you must change the schedule a little, please do that. Next, we'll see our talents and the skills we have. After seeing that, we'll see the branches. It will make us realize about our hopes, our aspirations in life, what we want in life, and give us a new perspective. Next, we'll look at the leaves. After looking at the leaves, please remember all the things that the people you love have done for you. Next, the fruits, the gifts of life that you have. Thank God for all the gifts that you have in your life. Next, the storms and the clouds. All the problems, remember the problems that you faced in life and think about how you fought them. And we hope that all of these steps help you to restore hope if you've lost it, or just enhance it a bit. Thank you.
आशानां मनुष्याणां काचिदाश्चर्य श्रृंखला अया बद्धा प्रधावन्ति मुक्ता स्तिष्यन्ति कुत्रचित्। इसका भावार्थ है, मनुष्य का जीवन आशा नामक जंजीर से आश्चर्यजनक रूप में प्रभावित होता है। जो भी मनुष्य इससे प्रभावित होता है वह इधर उधर भागता हुआ प्रतीत होता है, और जो नहीं होता वह कहीं भी आराम से बैठा हुआ नजर आता है। अतः हमें अपने जीवन को खुशहाल तरीके से जीना चाहिए और आशा नामक दीप सदैव हमारे हृदय में जलते रहना चाहिए। धन्यवाद।
So we had conducted survey to analyze on hope is a waking dream, in which we had collected 884 responses.
The highest number of responses were received from people between the age group of 10 to 18 years. On being asked, is hope is necessary? 99.5% of people responded yes.
The answer to the question, that does the fact of you being confined to the four walls of your room result in hopelessness? 64.6%, which was the majority of people, answered yes. 21.2% people answered no, whereas 14.1% people answered maybe.
To our next question, how often do you lose hope? 92.3% of people responded they lose hope sometimes. 3.9% responded most of the time, whereas remaining 3.8% responded they never lose hope.
To the question, who gives you hope in your tough times? Majority, 87% people answered that their friends, teachers, and parents give them hope in their tough times.
On being asked, do you feel that being hopeful provides positivity? Yes, 96% people think that being hopeful provides positivity, and 4% people are still not sure that being hopeful provides positivity to them or not.
To the question that are you certain that being hopeful for a better tomorrow will help in fighting the current situation? 93% of people believed yes, whereas 5% people believed no, and 2% said maybe.
Another question, do you believe in dreams coming true? Yes, 98.9% people believe in dreams coming true, but 1.1% people said no, they don't believe in dreams coming true.
When the survey takers were asked, can human beings have any ultimate sense of hope in life without believing in God? 78.8% people said yes, whereas 11.6% people said no, and 9.5% people said maybe.
The last question was, has the pandemic made you lose hope? 11.5% people said yes, 13.1% people said no, and 75.4% are not sure yet that this pandemic made them lose hope or not.
Further, we'll be talking about the case profiles of two extraordinary personalities, namely Martin Luther King and Arunima Sinha, who proved that hope is a waking dream.
Martin Luther King Jr. was an African-American Baptist minister and activist, the most visible spokesperson and leader in the American civil rights movement from 1955 until his assassination in 1968. He hoped that America and the world could form a society where race would not impact a person's civil rights, and few people understand what it means to be hopeful as deeply as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a pioneer of the civil rights movement in America. King's dream was simple, but achieving it meant overcoming countless barriers and complexities. In many ways, hope was the driving force behind his remarkable achievements.
Arunima Sinha, the first Indian amputee to scale Mount Everest and the one who inspires millions of us. She was thrown out of the train by some chain snatching criminals when she was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi. Her leg got injured badly. The doctors had to amputate it. Most would have resigned to their fate, and some might even have chosen to opt out of life. Not Arunima. She decided to do something big enough to give her an identity that brought her respect, not pity. She trained and scaled the peak that many of us with our limbs intact cannot even dream of. She has proven hope is a waking dream.
अब मैं आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगी एक स्वरचित कविता। आशा, क्या चाहते हो आप ये दुनिया से? चाहत तो सब करते हैं, पर उस चाहत को मुकम्मल करने की आशा कोई नहीं रखता। आशा, उम्मीद पर तो पूरी दुनिया कायम है दोस्तों। मुसीबतें तो है सबके जीवन में, दिक्कत है तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपके नजरिए में। अंधकार में भी रोशनी की किरण है आशा, निराशा को तो दूर भगा देती है आशा, असफल को भी सफल कर देती है आशा। सपने तो हर कोई देखता है, परंतु उन्हें पूरी करने की उम्मीद हो जहां और आशा की किरण हो, तो कोई भी व्यक्ति जिंदगी में मार नहीं खा सकता। मैं आप सबसे बस इतना ही कहूंगी, ज्यादा नहीं, बस कुछ ही शब्दों में अपनी बात समझाना चाहूंगी। आप अपने भूतकाल को पीछे मुड़कर ना देखें, बस आने वाले कल पर नजर गड़ाएं, आशा के साथ कदम बढ़ाएं। दुनिया की कोई भी ताकत आपको अपनी मंजिल तक पहुंचने से नहीं रोक सकती। धन्यवाद।
Now, I would like to invite our mentors to express their views.
Thank you so much, Khushbu. First of all, I would like to congratulate our wonderful team. You guys did a fabulous job. And I would like to thank our dear jury members and Anand team for listening us so patiently. So we believe that something is going to change for us, for better for us, or worse, we cannot tell. If it changes, none of us know what might happen next, and yet we still go forward because we hope, we trust, and we have faith. So the team aspiration has worked extremely hard towards it and have obtained good result to explain their research. These 21 days, they have worked hard together under our guidance and have shown great performance. Kudos to the team and your efforts. Thank you so much.
Okay, so according to me, a team is what derives us to success. And team aspiration has been a great believer in decentralization of responsibilities. Each one of them had different point of views, but then a team is all about working together and deriving to a common solution. We face some difficulties in the starting, but then we handle it well and move forward by seeing the positive consequences, of course. I feel that this internship is not just about winning or losing. It's more about life skills like time management, cooperation, and teamwork. So yeah, overall, my team did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for your time and patience.
Well done, team. What an astounding performance. It was indeed an insightful and interesting presentation. Thank you very much. The team indeed sparked hope in all of us. I would now like to invite Nikita ma'am to share her feedback about the team's presentation and performance and proceed with the question answer round.
All right. So heartiest congratulations, Team Aspiration. I think we all enjoyed, we all have become more hopeful about everything in life, going through this entire process of how you kind of broken it down to so many components. Yours is a topic which is very, I would just say it's very abstract, because there's nothing, hope is nothing concrete. Hope is something that you feel. Hope is something that you work towards. Hope is a mindset. Hope is a collection of emotions that makes you positive in life. And for you to have, put all this together into concrete portions of, how you can achieve hope, how different physical activities and different things like remembering something good that you've done during the day can lead you towards hope. Then your survey and your questions that you've asked, the entire, the lot that you have surveyed, 884 of them is what I believe you surveyed, where you said most of them were all young people. And I noticed one particular thing where only a very minuscule percentage said that they are always hopeful. Majority said that they do lose hope sometimes. It was almost 90% plus. And that was a little disappointing, because if it is a younger lot and they are majority saying this, not accepted. You all should stay hopeful. You have a long way ahead. This is just a minor obstacle. Pandemic is something, Spanish flu is what was seen by the world many, many years back. And I think, I always feel that your generation is going to go down in history as a generation that survived a pandemic. You will live to tell stories to, your children, your grandchildren. So you are such a special lot, and always stay hopeful about it. I mean, we've kind of gone through a year and a half of it, and I'm sure few more months and we should all get out of it soon enough, and we'll get out of it stronger. We'll get out of it with better learnings in life, because now we do understand the value of things in life. All that materialism, consumerism, this is important, all the riches, all the wealth, all of it was put aside during the pandemic, because the richest and the poorest, the lowest rung of economic strata and the highest rung, everybody was locked at home. Everybody was within the four walls. Everybody, whoever could afford, was watching Netflix, right? So, I mean, you may be in your independent houses, but everybody was watching nearly the same thing. So it was a great leveler in a way, the pandemic, and made you realize the importance of relationships, made you realize the importance of family, getting to see each other on a daily basis, and still not getting irritated with each other after a while, because that was happening. I know a lot many kids and parents who said that, we don't spend so much time together, and the pandemic has made us spend 24/7 with one another. It was very, very difficult. People have smaller homes. People have a 2-bedroom house where you bump into each other every second of the day. Even if you want your own space and me time, there is nothing called me time. It all became we time, right? And the we extended to the screen time and other social time. So I think all in all, I thought you beautifully handled the topic. It was a very holistically covered concept. I like the fact that your mentors, both of them said it, and especially I think Dia pointed out about the fact that you decentralized and delegated responsibilities very well. I do not know the issues that you had initially, and I don't want to know it, because I know you as team aspiration the way I can see it. And I see it as a very strong, a very well-knit team. I like the way when Khushbu kind of got locked out for a few seconds, and immediately I think Vaishnavi is the one who took on and repeated it all over again. The fact that you have anticipated that something like this can happen, and all of you should have your respective scripts available with each other and take on, shows foresightedness on part of a team, which is very, very commendable. The other thing which I really liked is the self-composed poem by Ira. I think that was very, very nice, and full of enthusiasm and full of hope. And it really makes you sit up and think that, yes, what is it that we are lamenting about? I mean, there's so much to hope for. And, we've seen such lovely times, and we look forward to seeing those times again. So that is what hope, does to you. And the lovely chemicals that we have in our body, which can make us feel so upbeat and good, and what you can do to make sure that you have it. The activity that you all did, I mean, the tree was a lovely example of how you kind of demarcated different aspects of your life and put them up to see that, fruits is what you're aiming for, and you should look forward to something like that. So as far as I'm concerned, I thought it was a beautifully handled topic. It was something, when I read the topic, I was wondering, what are they going to do in it? I mean, it's going to be very theoretical. The two case studies that you did, Arunima Sinha and, Martin Luther King Jr., I mean, these are people that everybody, I think, looks up to. The irony is that we don't talk about too many, heroes in our country. And now we use the word hero without a gender assigned to it. So I call Arunima also a hero as far as I'm concerned. But, she has suffered also as much as perhaps he has suffered in his life. But he is more eulogized and known globally than we would talk about our own people, because people like you and me do not quote her enough. We don't talk about her story as much. So out of your lot and your generation, please ask how many of them really know about Arunima. Very few will know. Martin Luther, they may have still heard. Mahatma Gandhi, everybody's heard. Of course, the level of accomplishments and achievements for each individual varies, but her story of courage is no less than anybody else's story. So I think I cannot find for one any area that you left untouched in this. And I think it was a beautifully handled win. So congratulations to Team Aspiration, to the mentor and the co-mentor, and the way you conceptualized the topic, the way you went about threadbare about every aspect of the topic, and the way you presented it in front of us with those beautiful, hopeful smiles and lovely expressions. I think you were invested in what you did. So congratulations. You're welcome, dear.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very much for your insightful feedback, ma'am. Your inputs have again restored hope in each and every one of us.
I hope so.
I would now like to invite Jaswinder ma'am to please share her views regarding the presentation and raise any questions you would like to ask our interns.
Good evening, everyone, and Team Aspiration, a job very well done. I want to endorse and second all that Nikita ma'am has already said. And even I was a little skeptic about how a vague and abstract emotion topic like hope, how will you bring it down to the concrete level? And the way you broke it up into parts and you took up every part and explained it so beautifully. I had a few doubts which were cleared, and some of the questions which I had noted I would ask have just flown out of the window because they are answered already. A few highlights for me: the reward idea. I just simply loved it because this is actually real life connection. You took on something you believed in and you experimented and you also saw the result of it. So you included it in your research and in your survey, and you got the response. So it further cemented it for you. So that was brilliant. And of course, the self-composed poem that Ira presented, that was very nice. And the Tree of Hope activity. I feel that if that activity is taken up by each one of us, by the end of it, we will all be so positive and hopeful because we'll have so much positivity in front of us and in concrete, not just vaguely talking about it, right? And as ma'am said, we should look for more heroes around us. I would even say go for people you know in your surroundings. You will find many examples, even in our parents, our grandparents. You'll find people of their generation, how they overcame difficulties and had a difficult life, managed so many fronts, and still they have accomplished. Maybe they are not heroes, they are not their stories are not written, they are not talked about, but I feel those are the stories around us which give us more hope, because those are the ones we can relate to. Those are the ones we see every day. So I would say, as youngsters, as ma'am said, you guys should be hopeful because you are our future. You are the ones who are going to carry this world, this earth forward. So I would say that you should be hopeful, not give up hope. As she said, yes, the number, the percentage of being hopeful all the time should increase. And I would say, look around you, find people in your peers, teachers, home, and derive hope from them, get hope from them. Just one little question that comes to mind, and I would ask if somebody would like to answer. How would you differentiate between hope and faith?
I would like to answer that.
Yes, please.
So, ma'am, faith can be associated with trust. Or you are sure that this will happen because you trust on someone or something. But hope is like, you don't know whether it will happen or not, but it is that driving force that will help you to reach that that future you want. Or you can say that.
So what I gather you're trying to say is hope is something internal to do with the self, and for faith maybe we required an extrinsic force and extrinsic factor. So thank you.
Faith and belief is something like this. Hope, faith, belief, they are considered as synonyms of each other. But when we talk about faith, we bring belief with the connection with faith. So we say that if we have faith in each other, that I strongly have belief that I will achieve this. But if I am hoping, I don't know whether I'll get that or not, but I have to think that I will get that what I want, and that is what is hope.
Yes. So I also feel that hope is something from within and for which we aspire. And for faith, we need another source, another person, another entity from which we pin our hope. But when we are only hopeful, it's within us. And a small tip again, I would just like to add, envision yourself. Like even for the pandemic, we are all waiting for it to end. We are hoping for it to end soon. And this is a trick which works very well for me, and it has worked for my children and others. Envision yourself where you want to see. And the moment you start envisioning yourself there, and just keep the negative emotions and will it happen, if it happens, all vanish. And one day it actually becomes reality. So be hopeful, keep aspiring. A job very well done. Kudos to you. Thank you.
Yeah, Nikita ma'am, I would request you also to put forward some questions.
Okay. So in your daily lives, I would just like to know from any of you. I mean, I'm sure, this was all lovely because it sounds wonderful and it's all sugar coated. But I'm sure there are moments in your day-to-day life, and even now, is there none of you who've gone through this, phase of when will our schools open and when are we going to get back, and it's terrible, and will this ever get over? So if any of you have gone through this emotion, first let me know who's gone through this emotion, then I'll pose my question. So who's going to go for it? All right, Vaishnavi. All right, Vaishnavi, tell me, when you go through this emotion personally, what works for you? Is it your parents, or is it your friends, or is it something that you need to work on yourself? How long do you go through this phase of hopelessness till you can kind of get hold of that golden hope all over again?
So, ma'am, if you ask me, I'll be really honest right now. This phase comes every day. It's not like it'll happen in 1 month or maybe next month I will be hopeful. It happens every day, every morning when you wake up. It's just like, is it gonna be like this like my whole life? Am I gonna stay home my whole life, attend school on like laptop?
Screen, correct.
When am I gonna be social? When I'm gonna meet my family, my extended family and everybody? So this happens every day. But what inspires me is when I wake up, I see my mom and dad. I see them doing things for me. I see them working like in the house, just normally working, but they do it for me. So I see that. Then I open my phone. I see my friends wishing me good morning, and all those messages that come in the morning, they inspire me. They make me happy in the morning. They make me hopeful that yes, this is gonna end. Then my teachers. So every part of life makes me very hopeful. And as Jaswinder ma'am said, we need to envision about our future, and then we can be hopeful. So yes, I think about what I want to do in life, and that really makes me hopeful at the end of the day. So
wonderful. It sounds great. I just want to give two pieces of quick advice to you. One is, like Jaswinder ma'am said, positive affirmations when you wake up in the morning, something which you pin up on a soft board if you have in your room. Few statements which you look at on a daily basis, which lift your spirits, basically. You say it kind of is your driving force towards something that you are aiming for, so that you cannot look at the immediate, upsetting things that are in your, surroundings. Two, chronicle whatever is going on in your lives. If Anne Frank had never done it, do you think she would be a celebrated author who you would all be reading about? And she lived in terrible, terrible times. For years, she lived in the basement of a house, hoping that one day she'll be out there. It's okay. Maybe she did not make it, but she's out there for every one of you to know that there's somebody like Anne Frank who existed, what she felt on a daily basis. Morning what she felt, afternoon what she felt, when she heard footsteps what she felt. So chronicle your everyday. You, for all you know, some of you may become celebrated authors because you will be able to put your thoughts together and you may just come up with a bestseller. So do not waste this opportunity. This is a golden period given to you to test your strength and to test a lot of skills that you can develop. So that would be my advice to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, respected jury members, for joining us today and giving your precious, insightful, and inspiring feedback. We would also like to thank the team for joining us today and also for the wonderful presentation. We once again thank you all for joining in today. Take good care of yourselves. Goodbye. Stay home, stay safe.
Right.
You all have a good day.
You too.